my best friend. Oh my God. Don't do this. For I messed up. I need my best friend. Oh my God. Don't do this. Oh my God. I need my best friend. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt the glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven that found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. The gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me for. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends and family beyond the binary, good evening and welcome to another Owlet production. My name is Warren Jugglegod Hammond, and I am joined tonight by Marks in the casting booth. But I, this time, am going to be on the color side of the bench.
Yep, that's right. I've taken the play-by-play away from you, Juggle, and I'm a little bit sorry about that. But regardless, we've got a very exciting evening for you with a lot of Overwatch. Tonight, it's going to be Otter Oxide going up against Team Growluwu. Both of these teams are undefeated in the Dartrix division. So this is kind of like the Clash of Titans right before we get into the Stage 2 playoffs here. And yeah, Juggle, what can we expect from both of these teams here?
Well, we're going to be seeing some new faces, at least on Team Growluwu tonight. As many of you may have known, there was another cheating scandal, unfortunately, in Owlet, and Rogue Dragons has decided to disband because of it. So Raph and Solar are both playing for Team Growluwu now, and we're going to be seeing Raph come in, I believe, on this very first map. So, all bets are off now. I mean, who knows what we're going to see? We also have McNewbie back in the lineup for Otter Oxide, who we haven't seen in a while. So lots of new faces.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely exciting. I mean, Otter Oxide has just honestly looked so damn good this entire stage. They haven't even dropped a single map, whereas Growluwu, they like to get up to some shenanigans every now and then. And of course, I've been convinced that they are actually a really good team, and they've got the stats to show it here. But if we just go based on the pure number differential right now, maybe Otter Oxide might have a little bit of an advantage, but Team Growluwu, they're definitely going to be giving this Otter Oxide a little bit of a run for their money. And it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, how some of these new players are going to work in their team compositions and how basically the teamwork is going to work. Because let's be honest, Overwatch, a little bit of a team game we've got on our hands.
Just a little bit, just a smidgen of teamwork.
Just a smidge.
just a smidge that's involved. Exactly. No, I still think, if, I'll go ahead and give you my preds. I think we're still going to see a Team Growluwu win tonight here, but I think it's going to be very close. And honestly, this is probably the least certain I have been so far about a pred that I've made, because there are just so many unknowns here. I mean, McNewbie and Hawk in for Otter Oxide. It could go. It really could go either way. And I think regardless, we're in for a long night, hopefully, of some excellent Overwatch.
Hey, the more Overwatch, the better. And actually, we're going to be kicking off our first map on Busan, doing this lovely control-ish, not 2CP, but our capture point maps here. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these teams is going to take the early lead. But like you said, Juggle, I also think that we're going to be in for a little bit of a long night, because both these teams, I'm excited to just see what's going to happen. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, me too. And, it'll be interesting. One thing that I think is going to be fascinating is going to see how slotting in Raph and Solar is going to affect these wild compositions that you see come out from Team Growluwu. Are we still going to see them, right? Because Vadi was a big part of some of those wild comps, especially on that Bastion. And with them not starting tonight, it's going to be Raph and Ed Cushion, it looks like. Those shenanigans may get muted a little bit. Growluwu is still in there. So, that's always.
He is.
Oh yeah, yep. And so there will be some shenanigans for sure. But yeah, I think we might see less. And I think Otter Oxide, they're gonna look cleaner and more polished, I think, regardless of whether or not they come out stronger. And since we are going to Busan, if we end up at a mecha base or downtown, I think Otter Oxide might have a little bit of the edge, especially in mecha base, considering that Brawl is so powerful there, and that's just something we don't see Team Growluwu like to do that much.
Well, to be fair, for Growluwu, what they like to do is be like, I want to play this hero, and then they just do it, and we've seen them beat rush compositions many times before. So let's see how they want to deal with this, but we're going to be starting it off now, once again, like I mentioned, on Busan. We're in the city center. Let's see how these teams want to engage.
Yeah, now this one does favor a couple of different compositions. You could see a dive or a double bubble come out here just as easily as you can see a rush. But again, that doesn't really mean anything when we're talking about Growluwu. So, I fully expect to, see Growluwu lock that hog. And Clown Dog right now is hovering over this Winston, which is a very, very odd pairing. And look at this, Egg Cushion is channeling Vadi on that Bastion. So maybe not so much is going to change from the look of Team Growluwu with this edition of Raph and Solar.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Raph and Solar, they know the strats, they know the shenanigans, and now these teams are going to be getting into the middle of it. Will Growluwu be able to take a single map off of Otter Oxide's polished golden record? This is where we're going to find out. And looks like the teams are going to be trading a couple of blows here. Obviously, on the low ground, it's going to be interesting to see how they want to choose what their engagement tools are going to be. It's quite common we see, actually, they're building up that coalescence there. But with Raph also on this Sombra, that's going to allow for a lot of hack potential and really just slow down the momentum here as we see some hacks going out. Now these teams are just going to be getting into a little bit of a fight on this point right now. McNewbie making his way back, had to teleport out of there, but it's going to be Hawk opening this up with a pick onto Growluwu to kick things off, and now that's going to be Bishop on the back line, just zapping them down with his little tickle gun, and this looks like this is going to be all Otter Oxide as Growluwu have to back off, and Otter Oxide's got the point.
Yeah, they certainly do. And, you know, it was interesting to see the tank swaps come in right before the gates open. Growluwu going over to that Winston. It's clear that, you know, he's not quite as comfortable on it. And really, I think the story there was Hawk, you know, jumping in and chunking down Growluwu right there. He needs to keep him in his line of sight. But already we have a pick on the Bishop.
Yeah, and the Coalescence is going to come out just to keep the team alive, but already with Bishop falling down, that's not going to be too good because he's the main target you want to be keeping on there as Growluwu goes in with the Primal Rage and gets Big Muzzy. Now Yellowcello is fighting with the Sombra, but he gets slapped aside by Contreras with a little bit of a sound blast to the face. Hawk, meanwhile, he's trying to get around, just distract them on this point. Just hold this point for as long as you can to prevent Growluwu from getting percentage, but they're going to finish that up, and now Growluwu in charge of the point.
Yeah, you know, and Kartik did a great job there with that coalescence, keeping his team up and allowing them to push in very, very aggressively. And Raph was able to get a great hack as well onto Hawk to keep him from proccing that extra healing. And this fight, it's really going to come down to whether or not Big Muzzy can stay out of the way when the EMP comes in. There it is.
Oh, dueling EMPs are going out. Nobody can even use their cell phones as picks are just going to be coming through. But it looks like Growluwu is coming out on top here as Egg Cushion. He's just beaming people down. Now we're going to see the Primal Rage come out of Bishop just to keep this point alive as the duplicate comes out onto another Winston. It's going to be a lot of monkeys zipping and zapping each other, but it's actually Clown Dog with the self-destruct able to take out Bishop. And Growluwu are going to be holding on to this point nice and strong.
They certainly did hold on to it nice and strong, but look at how many ults they had to commit to that fight to win it. I mean, Otter Oxide isn't much further behind. You know, they've only got support ults coming online, but Team Growluwu, they're maybe going to get this Primal Rage. And that's really what they're going to have to bank their hopes on of holding this point in the face of these two support ults from Otter Oxide.
It's going to be a little bit difficult. Obviously, the support ultimate's incredibly powerful to just keep everybody alive, but we're going to be watching them open up with Jumpy's Coalescence. The beam of life and death is flying forwards, keeping up the main tank, and now Big Muzzy's going to just drop the beat in order to keep everybody alive, nice and healthy, as this is just a massive HP bonus for the Otters, as they should be able to just start taking down the individual members of Team Growluwu. They're on the point right now, and they've successfully flipped it, but they didn't get that many picks as Growluwu. They're getting ready to re-engage here. They've got a lot of their team on, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing. And now it's Raph with this EMP. Could come up huge on this point. We see him hop in there, but unfortunately he gets out EMP'd by McNewbie, and that's going to be a full-man EMP just coming through as Otter Oxide are very much in charge of this point. But Raph finally able to use his EMP, and with Kartik's Coalescence, there's so much healing that's being done right here. It's going to be Team Growluwu turning this fight around, being able to just use that difference as Egg Cushion finds a double with a duplicated self-destruct. And that's going to be Growluwu once again winning out this team fight, barely giving up any percentage to Otter Oxide.
You know, the great thing that they did that allowed them to win that fight is they saved Growluwu's ultimate from that previous one. He decided not to use it, to let it build up, and to come back and retake it. And now we're seeing this fight break out again on point. Primal already out.
Oh, comboed with that Coalescence just to make sure that Hawk can't fall down. That's what we like to see as two people are going to be going down here. And we see Growluwu frantically throwing ultimates on, but they need to touch this point right now because we are getting dangerously close to the end of this map. We see that they're scrambling on point, but McNewbie's going to open this up with a pick onto Egg Cushion. A self-destruct going to be thrown up into the air. Doesn't find anything there. Yellowcello, though, gets a lot of damage in onto Growluwu. And now this is going to be the Otters running rampant on this point. They cannot be stopped because they've got a sound barrier to help keep them all. all nice and healthy as they're going to be getting our first point here.
That was an excellent showing by both teams. I mean, look at that score line, 100 to 99. It was close every single fight. And, you know, I really, after watching that, I can't give the edge to one team or the other going into Mecha Base now. You know, both teams showed great ult economy, except for maybe that one fight from Growluwu where they where they had to dump everything into it, but they were very cognizant of it, and they came back and held on to it. You know, Growluwu's ultimate for that next fight. And you know, again, Big Muzzy and Jumpy did fantastic jobs layering their ults together. So this is going to be an exciting match. And now I think Hawk is going to be the difference maker on the Otter Oxides. It's going to be up to, you know, somebody on Growluwu to try and keep them at bay.
The Otters opting to use a little bit of a classic rush comp here as Bishop just gets the better half of Growluwu, and they're just going to be marching forwards. You know what they say, when you got the rush, just press W and get your Reinhardt swinging with your Mei freezing everybody up, and you're going to have a party on your hands. And that's exactly what these Otters are going to be doing here as they're just on cleanup right now. The point has finally opened up, and they've already won the team fight, so they're going to be getting first capture.
Yeah, that was excellent coordination that we saw from Otter Oxide. And again, I think having that Mei in the lineup was really the difference maker. You saw the Reinhardt Growluwu go up on top of that wall early in the fight, and they weren't really able to get their footing after that. Wall comes in early again, but this time doesn't catch anybody.
Nope, and now the teams are just going to be going into it. Unfortunately, Bishop dropping his shatter right into the middle of a shield, but as soon as he falls down, that's just going to open things up for Growluwu to throw his shatter down, and now this is going to be Growluwu on top of this, but we're seeing McNewbie trying to keep it alive with his Deadeye right now. Right now, this is despite the fact that they've lost a lot of their members. Otter Oxide just need to stay on this point, stall it out for as long as they can, just to make sure that they can get that percentage as high as they totally can. And now we're seeing the committing of the Blizzard onto this point right now. An interesting move by Hawk, but once again, they still have this point captured, and that might have been what the stall that they needed, as the team has now regrouped on this point. We see Hawk and Soundbarrier is actually going to start coming through here. So now this is still Otter Oxide able to take control of this point, and even though Bishop is going to be falling down, that is an excellent zoning wall coming out from Hawk. Like you said, that is a difference of the Mei, but Raph has a difference of his own with the double Deadeye into both McNewbie and to Hawk. This fight has still been going on, and still Team Growluwu, they've not been able to capture the point yet. Already, Otter Oxide have been trickling this in, making them use their ultimates and using their ultimates on their own to keep this point alive. We see the picks are finally now coming through for Growluwu, but that's already 78% for Otter Oxide just after an extended second-long team fight.
What an incredible hold from Otter Oxide. Hawk, I think, was the hero they needed and deserved right there in that team fight. Staying on there, committing that Blizzard. It looked foolhardy to me as well. I thought they were committing to a lost fight, but no, they got such a good amount of capture percentage out of that. And already, the fight has started out again with Jumpy popping this amplification matrix.
And now Bishop, he's got his shatter. He wants a little bit of vengeance for last time where he threw it directly into the shield, but it's going to be a Doomfist in the backline. Egg Cushion just pushing people around so Clamdog can get the self-destruct kill there. And now Bishop is on his own on this bottom line as Otter Oxide once again is being scattered all over the place by Growluwu. And Growluwu, they're going to be winning this team fight out, holding on to the point.
Yeah, you know, despite that early pick coming out onto, I believe, Raph, Team Growluwu was able to turn it around because they got an early pick onto Jumpy as well, and without those Baptiste heals, everything just fell apart. Looking into this next fight, Growluwu is going to have to use, this Matrix defensively. Shatter comes in big.
That was absolutely massive. What a shatter coming out from Bishop, allowing McNewbie to get a pick onto the tanks, which is exactly what you needed. Egg Cushion, though, trying to keep this alive. He's so good on this Doomfist right now, able to take out McNewbie mid-air as the Otters are able to flip the point here. But Growluwu right now are looking better for it. You see the Blizzard come out from Hawk, just trying to freeze everybody who's on this point up here. But Bishop is actually going to be the one finding a couple of picks. Now Yellowcello, he's got this Diva mech, and that's going to be Diva's home turf on this point right now as Yellow Cello just trying to stall things out. Also has the self-destruct as well, so we'll be able to get a quick remake there, but Growluwu has something different to say. But look at this, Otter Oxide, they've already pushed the overtime. Hawks staying alive on this point for as long as they can, but now this is going to be Otter Oxide having to regroup, getting ready for this final fight.
Yeah, this is just incredible, seeing how calmly Otter Oxide is playing. Big Muzzy had an opportunity there to use that beat on that last fight to maybe extend things and keep that captured, but they opted to hold it, and that looks like it was the right choice because Yellow Cello was able to stall that out anyway. They're going to start things off with a bomb to see what they can get.
And that's going to be trading sound barriers there. Unfortunately, the bomb didn't find anything. Hawk, though, able to take out Clown Dog. That could be a great opening up pick. With Bishop also taking out Growluwu, now the tanks are down for Growluwu, meaning that they should have, the Otters might have free reign of this point. Raph using his Deadeye, able to find Big Muzzy, and also taking out Bishop and Cushion, punching down onto Yellow Cello. What was looking like Otter's Oxide feeling very in charge at this point is now turning over as we see McNewbie trying to stall this out for as long as they can, but that is going to be point number 2 going to Team Growluwu. This is so close, Struggle. I am losing my mind.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? I think the slight edge that came that round from Growluwu was the fact that they kept getting picks onto Jumpy early into fights, right? Or at least at key moments in that fight, either at, you know, as an equalizing pick or something. Other than that, but the Jumpy's going to have to do a better job of staying alive, and they've already made the swap over to the Moira, which is going to help them with that. Moira is much more survivable. She can escape from more situations, and you know what? That was the successful formula that they had on the first point. So yeah, I think Otter Oxide has made the adjustment they're going to need. Let's see if they make the adjustment in their play as well.
Yeah, look at this. Both of these teams now, they're running mirror compositions to one another. You know, last time we saw a little bit of differences coming up, but right now these are quote-unquote going to be evenly matched, as already we see that they're just going to be brawling it out a little bit. Hopefully building up these coalescences to kind of start this engagement, but everyone's looking for their opening kill right now. Hawk just using the shotguns, just pumping in damage into Growluwu. He's a big monkey and he can take a lot of bullets, but if you pepper him enough, eventually he's going to be falling down. But Team Growluwu have the superior positioning, and Kishin, though, he gets Bishop, which is just going to be that Growluwu are going to be feeling nice and in charge as they push people back. McNewbie a little bit isolated from his team, but does have the translocator, so he is going to get out of there. As the point opens up, it's going to be Growluwu with the first capture.
Yeah, they did an excellent job of winning out that neutral fight. But you know, something that I'm worried about going into this next one for Team Growluwu is McNewbie is already at this EMP. That is such a fight-swinging and fight-winning ult that, yeah, look at that, cancels the coalescence from Kartik.
Especially, too, if you catch him out with the coalescence and you get a big hack onto 4 people, that's gonna do, yeah, nice and well. But Team Growluwu are keeping this contested for as long as they can. They're forcing out a couple of ultimates. Primal does come out from Bishop here, just able to finally clean up this point. But look at that. Team Growluwu have kept this point captured up, and they've already got 30% on the board.
Yeah, they're a third of the way to victory now, and and they have the better ult economy as well. Look at this, they've got 5 coming online right now versus the 3 that Otter Oxides have. They're really gonna have to get a whole lot of value out of this beat from Big Muzzy if they have any hope of holding on to this point.
It might be a little bit of a press Q to win situation here as the EMP is going to be opening it up. Oh boy. Hawk, though, using the Death Blossom, able to take out Conteras and Clown Dog, which could really swing this around. You know, you've canceled out quite a bit of, what do you call it, the support line there, and especially, too, after Kartik falls as well. Team Growluwu was left without their supports, and now Otter Oxide still very much in charge of the point. Didn't even need to use the sound barrier. It's insane.
No, they didn't. They just committed one ultimate to that fight. Just Yellow Cello's, or sorry, they committed to Yellow Cello's bomb and Hawk's Death Blossom. And the unfortunate thing for Growluwu is they used everything except for the Death Blossom, and they still lost. EMP comes in.
That's going to be a big 4-man EMP here. Egg Cushion going to be using his Death Blossom. Does find Bishop and Jumpy. Okay, this could swing things around just a little bit. We see that they're kind of even out here, but Raph being able to take out Hawk, that's going to secure the win for Growluwu here as they just push forwards onto point. McNewbie trying to stall this out for as long as he can, but he gets hacked. Doesn't feel good, man, as Growluwu capped the point.
Yeah, you know, the story there really was the two Reapers battling at it. That Death Blossom coming out, I think just because of the fact that they got it out a little bit earlier than, you know, the rest of the picks that came in for Otter Oxide really set Growluwu up for success, and they were able to just snowball that advantage into a win, despite Hawk getting a pick onto Egg Cushion.
Here we go again onto this point. Jumpy holding on to this Coalescence and is going to be using it now. We're going to be seeing a little bit of a Dragon Ball Z duel here as dueling Coalescences come out, but Egg Cushion is going to find Hawk first. The Sound Barrier is forced out by Big Muzzy, and we also see a Primal Rage coming out from Bishop, but Raph has been so good on these neutral hacks, basically shutting down members of the team as per necessary, and we see Bishop is not even able to get too much value out of that Primal Rage. Meanwhile, Growluwu is doing a lot of work on just pushing people around and dislocating the team. Now, it looks like Otter Oxide, they have to back off here because Growluwu just have such a space advantage.
Yeah, they had a space advantage, but the advantage in the ult economy is certainly going to Otter Oxide now. If they can get on point and make a case for it, I think they're going to have an easier time to win. But they've got to take out Contreras or at least neutralize that beat. Clown Dog was able to remech, so that's a good thing for Growluwu as well. But here comes the EMP.
Unfortunately, the EMP only caught 2 people. We're going to see the neutral hack onto Egg Cushion, but it might be all too late because the Death Blossom was able to just zone out the complete area around there, and we just see the ultimate starting to come through. Even if Growluwu falls down, Egg Cushion is ready for the punish. Just walking through with these shotguns. A lot of monkey, a lot of man playing a lot of music, and that's going to be Growluwu just in charge of this point once again as the overtime does tick down. Hawk can't even touch it, so that's going to be map number 1 going to Team Growluwu.
Oh, I am so sorry, Otter Oxide. That golden stage is now tarnished. But you can still be very proud of, you know, the effort that you've put up to now, and especially even in this matchup. You know, I think that what we saw happen here was we saw Otter Oxide playing at a very, very high level, one that Growluwu maybe isn't used to playing against so far, you know, during this tournament. And the result of that was Growluwu had to go over to some meta compositions. Like you said, we saw the mirror matchup, right, on that last point. And that was also the only one that didn't go 99 to 99. So I think seeing Growluwu forced, you know, kind of their backs up against the wall and the other team saying, nope, if you're going to have a chance, you got to play, you know, by meta. And Growluwu was like, okay, I guess we'll have to. And that's what they did. And they took the map.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we've talked about it before, but Growluwu, they like to just play whatever they want to play. And big ups to Otter Oxide for forcing them to kind of switch their compositions into these meta compositions to match them exactly where they are good at. You know, we saw that rush composition coming out from Otter Oxide on that second point. And even though they weren't playing the full mirror, you just saw how much of a difference that made. You know, Otter Oxide just looked so well coordinated and everything like that. But then as soon as Growluwu met them exactly with the same composition on that point number 3, even it was still close, don't get me wrong, but Growluwu just looked fantastic.
Yeah, they did look a little bit better. It looked like they had a better, you know, understanding of tempo, right? When to go in, when to commit. And with that, coupled with, I think, just standout play from both Egg Cushion and Raph, they were able to swing that. And going into this next map, you know, I'm going to be curious to see what Otter Oxide does to kind of counteract it. You know, they have the map pick now, so they can pick something that they think is going to, you know, go well for them. And it looks like we are going to be going to Watch Point Gibraltar. So expect some dive, maybe some double bubble, possibly even some double shield if you're feeling real frisky.
I'm feeling, I mean, it's not Thursday, but, you know, maybe a little bit of a throwback Thursday would be a little bit fresh. We'll see in the double shield composition. But I don't think that Paradise Tempest is playing here. And you can see that both of these teams were pretty comfortable playing that Winston and playing a little bit more of these divey heroes, you know? So I would expect that we are going to be seeing more monkey on monkey violence on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, no, I think you are absolutely right. And it was interesting, just seeing Growluwu play so well on the Winston as well. It's Growluwu has become almost synonymous with Roadhog, at least to me.
Yep.
And he was forced off that role very quickly during this match. So he's, that could come back to bite them as well, because he's not on a comfort role, right? And this is really going to heavily favor the team that is more experienced with the dive or with the double bubble. And that edge might, in fact, go to Otter Oxide, just because I think of their familiarity with the composition and the way that it needs to be played.
So you say that, but also, too, we've seen moments throughout Owlet where Growluwu is playing, the Reinhardt, the Winston or whatever, and then just goes, you know what? This isn't working. All right, time for the hog. And then suddenly the entire map flips around. And then Growluwu wins. And it's like, wait, hold on. What just happened? Wait, what?
Yeah,
so you never know. You never know.
Yeah, it's like you never know when they're gonna push that big red Growluwu button, you know?
Yep, exactly.
And just make it weird. So, and speaking though about the Roadhog that Growluwu is so well known for, maybe we do see a Roadhog come out here, because that is such a powerful counter to Winston.
That's true. He's flying through the air. Oh, never mind. You're over by me, says the Roadhog, with his big old hook hooking around the nice monkey body.
Yeah, exactly.
That's some good imagery for you.
I know, it's just made me think of he's on a chain or something at a really sad zoo.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry. Please don't come after me. That was all mental imagery. Well, I guess, is Roadhog really human anyways? Does that count?
We don't know
or something.
we haven't seen what's underneath that mask. I don't know if we ever will. Maybe Overwatch 2 we'll get to see what's hiding underneath there.
They should add that as a tagline. Curious what Roadhog is? Buy Overwatch 2 today.
We're not going to tell you. We're just going to tease you with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Master Chief. You don't need to know what's under there.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, we are still waiting on things to get set up for this match. So why don't we throw it to just a quick break, and we will see you all back in very short order.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. Best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. The gain's an angel. I lost a friend. I felt like dying again.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got Team Growluwu going up against Otter Oxide. Right now, Team Growluwu have taken our first map, but never fear. We're going to map number 2 on Watchpoint Gibraltar with Team Growluwu starting on our defense. Are you excited for this one, Juggle? I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I am excited. It's already been some fantastic Overwatch, and it's I don't think it's going to show any signs of slowing. Slimes, that is definitely a combination of sign and slowing, in case you were curious.
Save the slimes for the JRPGs. We've got some Overwatch on our hands here, Juggle.
All right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We're going to some weird places tonight, and I'm not gonna lie, I like it. So, um, already we have a suicide from Hawk, so that's kind of fascinating.
He's starting off strong.
The wall got got the better of him. Maybe he's just trolling to make him think they're gonna roll out on that far up. But let's take a look at what Growluwu has decided to run. They have opted for this double bubble composition. So this is gonna have to be a very slow defense for them, and I anticipate we're gonna see the cart get pushed pretty far before they can really make a solid stand against what Otter Oxide is going to be bringing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see that Otter Oxide be just moving towards a little bit more of a classic double bubble with the symmetric teleport just to get them in space here. But once again, Otter Oxide, they've now shown signs of their own mortality. They have finally lost a map in this series, so they're going to be coming back with a vengeance. They want this win over here, but Team Growluwu is definitely going to be a hard one to do.
Yeah, they certainly are. Right now, both teams just exchanging tip damage until Bishop decides to jump in. He goes very low. Anti-nade comes out too onto Egg Cushion, and ooh, the pick comes in first onto Jumpy.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge pick. You know, you lose that Ana, and suddenly you're not doing as much damage. Wrap up here, though, looking for McNewbie. Decides he's had enough of the hit scan, so he's just going to hit him with the Dynamite just to make him back off. But now, this is Otter Oxide. They're regrouping and getting ready to move in again.
Yeah, it certainly is. And just to let you know, I am having a small technical issue on my end, so I may drop out here in just a moment, but I will be back very, very shortly if that does happen. So,
okay, no problem. You know, you're the juggle god, but I'm just a little juggle apprentice, so I will do my best to juggle both the color and the play-by-play here. As we see, these teams are going to be starting off the engagement, immediately going for the Zarya, which will just disable that bubble, which is so instrumental for that Winston dive, because that's going to negate the little bit of a whip shot coming out from Big Muzzy. But now we see Egg Cushion coming into this back line. The supports don't even see that he's here, and they're going to need some peel because he's doing so much work. Finally, McNewbie comes in just to try and stay alive. But look at the amount of damage that Egg Cushion has just been able to do with Clown Dog taking out Bishop. That's going to allow Growluwu to just be in advantage of this point, as we see that Hawk has to be backing off here. We see that also a Nano Boost has been committed to Clown Dog as well, likely to just keep him in the fight, but Egg Cushion still hasn't been removed from his positioning there. Just able to pressure down Otter Oxide so strongly. This team fight is still going on here. Finally, they're able to come in and pressure him back, and the Otters are finally able to get a little bit more ground here.
Yeah, that was an excellent play from both teams. And it was interesting, though, to see Kartik commit that nade onto Clown Dog. Like you said, probably to just keep him alive. I'm sure they would have rather it gone onto Growluwu. Diva Bomb on point to just push people away for a second. And now we see the Bob committed as well.
Yep, the big old Butler on the point, but it's actually going to be the Hawk Monkey that is going to be flying into the backline. Unfortunately, falls just a little bit short, as that's going to be Bob taking out McNewbie as well as the duplicate here. We see the rally committed as well from Growluwu. Seems like they might just want to make sure that this is a guarantee to win team fight. Hawk caught out of position, going to be immediately punished by Raph, but look at this. Egg Cushion once again in this back line just takes out Jumpy with a little bit of a flick of the wrist from the pistol. Able to just get that finishing blow, as once again, Otter Oxide, they have to back off here with just over a minute left. This has been a solid defense from Growluwu.
Yeah, they have played this double bubble incredibly well. Like I said, it was going to have to be played slowly, and that's what they did. They let the card get very, very close to the end, but that's the time that they needed to build in order for this composition to really come online and come alive. And now, as we go into this next fight, Otter Oxide is looking a little bit better because they have both support ults and the primal ready to go.
That's true. They do have a lot of those support ults, but I'm actually looking at Clown's grab, because if he gets a lot of the members there, that could be really good. The grab does come out. It only catches Yellow Cello, but the picks right now are coming through from Otter Oxide. Bishop just completely in the back line, slapping around the supports of Team Growluwu, able to escape there. And that's actually going to be Hawk taking a little bit of a nap. Is going to get really close to death, but able to just get out of there with a little sliver of health. But right now, this is going to be Team Growluwu falling a little bit, as it seems like the Otters are in control here, but right now Team Growluwu, they're still into this. As soon as I said that, they were like, never mind, we actually want to come in here and engage. We see a lot of ultimates starting to be coming out here as we are now into overtime. Otter Oxide, they have to make it to this first point, otherwise it's going to be a disastrous second round coming up. We see Raph already has another Bob, and the Bob is going to be coming through there, and that's going to do a lot just to stall things out in order for the team to come back. We see Contrast, he's just completely isolated from the team, but with Big Muzzy's rally, it looks like that Otter Oxide should be able to cap point number 1 and give them a little bit more time on the clock.
I tell you, Otter Oxide barely held on there. They committed all of their ultimates very early in the fight, and they weren't able to quite get the picks that they needed to completely capture that point. And what that allowed is it allowed Growluwu to come back with their own ultimates that they had started to build up and give a very, very convincing stall on that point. But once again, we're going into a situation where Otter Oxide has the ult advantage. Growluwu does have enough time to almost get set up on this high ground, but Hawk is already there, and he's got a Death Blossom.
Oh, but it's going to be Raph with the first pick onto Big Muzzy, and now Hawk's not sure whether or not he wants to commit it. There might be a better time in the future, especially if Growluwu is going to be taking you out. Bishop, fast asleep on the point, but he's doing his job, moving it as far as he needs. Just forget a little bit about the cat nap. He needs a little bit of a monkey nap as we see Growluwu just go in deep just to get the finishing blow onto Bishop. And now, Growluwu, they're going to be able to set up wherever they please.
Yeah, they certainly are, and this point is very, very hard to crack once defense has gotten a hold of it. But again, we see that the ult advantage is in favor of Otter Oxide, but only barely. They don't have any of their support ults, and Kartik, with that nano, probably going to commit it onto Growluwu, especially because they are very, very close to this primal. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. There's the nano.
Oh, Jumpy got jumped on. That's not what you want to see. And that's going to be Growluwu again getting Big Muzzy, even though Bishop's able to take out Kartik. And once again, this is just Team Growluwu, just in charge, making it very clear who is winning right now. As Otter Oxide, they got to back up. Once again, still holding on to all those ultimates.
Yeah, they certainly are, and it's a good thing they did. You know, Growluwu did a phenomenal job of isolating the exact person that he needed to fall on top of, and that being Jumpy. Jumpy not able to jump out of the way in time. And there's only 30 seconds left on the clock now for Otter Oxide to try and make something happen on the second point. I'm going to be looking at this Bob and this Death Blossom to get big value, but Big Muzzy is already down.
That is not a good opening if you are on Otter Oxide. And we also see Bob committed. This is such a small place, which is just perfect for a Bob to just be gunning people down with this little bit of an aimbot. And look at Raph just doing so much work, able to just take out 3 members of Otter Oxide. Now, this is going to just be Hawk trying to stay alive as long as he can. He's able to find 2 with this Death Blossom right now. He might have just turned this around, given his team enough time to stall things out as he also takes out Kartik. Now, Clown Dog, he's on the run, but he is going to be taken down. And now this is all about positioning. Otter Oxide got to make sure that they don't allow Team Growluwu a chance to come in and stall them out one more time, because this is going to be incredibly gross. We see the Bob being committed onto the point, but Growluwu has thrown in the Primal Rage as well. But Raph just jumping on Jumpy. But Hawk and McNewbie keeping this one alive as nobody touches from Team Growluwu. So that's going to be Otter Oxide winning out the second point. Keeping it alive. Oh my god.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought that Growluwu was going to take that one. I thought we were going to see them stop there because they had the tools in their bag that they needed to make it happen. They just didn't commit them right. Maybe they didn't have the team all organized there and ready to go. But moving forward, Otter Oxide, they're fighting an uphill battle both literally and figuratively because they don't have any ults online right now, and there's just a minute left on the clock for them to make something happen. This is not the kind of neutral fight you want to be in.
Yellow Cello, he eats the crab. That could have been the team fight win right there. But it's okay because they've got a Nano Growluwu in the back line, able to take out Jumpy, and now Bishop is going to be falling down. We see that they're just going to be running things forward. Clown Dog a little bit upset that he didn't get his spectacular grab off, so he's going to be just following them into their spawn. But now there's only 30 seconds left for the Otters to push this as far as they can.
Hawk, we're gonna have to see some more heroics fly in from you because you are the only one online with an ultimate. Big Muzzy probably gonna get this beat as well. Those 2 ultimates are going to be pivotal in this next fight because Growluwu dumped everything they had. They're gonna get this Bob, but is it gonna be enough to hold on?
If they can find this opening pick onto Clown Dog, that could help a ton. We see now the Bob is going to be pushed into the back line. We see that there's going to be the sound barrier as well, just to keep this moving as far forwards as they can. But Egg Cushion has just been a menace on this Tracer, just pressuring the back line, making them always doubt themselves, while Otter Oxide wants to be moving forward. But finally, Otter Oxide are going to get what they want, as they're going to be moving through. Egg Cushion with the stick up to Jumpy. Jumpy has just been getting tossed around, but Hawk stopping the rally from Contreras, as well as taking out Egg Cushion. He might have just turned this around for Otter Oxide. Now they've just got to deal with Clown Dog. Rat flying onto point, just trying to stall this out, get his team enough time to move forwards, but it looks like the Otters are going to be able to take care of this point.
Wow!
Make it to the end. Overtime at all 3 of their points, Juggle. All 3 of their points overtime, and they did it.
They did it. That was incredible work from Otter Oxide. Kudos to them for staying cool under pressure, because that's exactly what they needed to do, and it's exactly what they did. Team Growluwu is a team that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on you as well. I mean, like you said, that Egg Cushion in that back line just causing so much havoc. I believe it was either Jumpy or Big Muzzy. I think it was Jumpy get down to almost 1 health there from that Tracer, but they were able to make it survive. And you have to wonder, if that play had just gone a little bit differently, would we have seen the full capture? Growluwu, now they're really going to have to shine if they plan to take this map.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Otter Oxide, if they can just stop what is known as the Team Growluwu wave. Okay, I said known, but I'm making that up right now. But if they can stop them from making it all of the way to the end, then they're going to tie up our series 1-1. So let's see how these teams want to choose to engage here, because Growluwu, they've got to make it all 3 points, despite an amazing defense, honestly. Otter Oxide was able to capture that, so a lot of pressure on them right now.
A whole lot of pressure, and you know what? Maybe that pressure's starting to get to them, because we see Growluwu has gone over to this hog. I'm sure they're going to have their sights firmly set on Bishop in that Winston.
Absolutely. He's going to be fishing out of the air for a big old monkey. It's not traditional, but you know what? It works here.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly does. Looks like Growluwu has gone over and decided to swap to Winston, though. So they are going to go for a more classical look here on Watch Point Gibraltar. Hawk in the air with that Echo is going to be a really, really hard thing, though, for Growluwu to deal with. They've pretty much only got Raph to help out with it, and he's already down.
There's a huge sticky bombs from Hawk, and then just beaming down Growluwu. Once again, Egg Cushion in his familiar position here, but now he's being pressured back by McNewbie. A little bit of a Tracer 1v1 going on in the back line here, as Hawk is just looking around, making sure he can drop in damage wherever he can. But now Growluwu, they're back and they're ready to rumble as they're getting ready to contest this high ground once again. We see them moving in here, and that's actually going to be Bishop starting it off by getting a little bit of the tickle gun out here. But it's a huge anti. Raph, right into the healing, has to back off completely, which is just going to allow Otter Oxide to just move forward there. But Clown Dog getting the pick onto Bishop might just turn this in their favor. Meanwhile, the Tracer 1v1 is happening here, ladies and gentlemen. You always have to respect the 1v1, and it looks like that's exactly what's going on here. McNewbie, he's scared. He doesn't know what to do. He does have a recall, but he's only got 25 HP, and Egg Cushion's going to be winning that one out. Meanwhile, we've taken it away from a bit of the spotlight there, but it's going to. The teams have been, in fact, brawling, with Team Growluwu able to get the high ground now. So, even though Otter Oxide are able to pressure the back, they're going to have to be a little bit more careful now, because Growluwu, they've got a couple of points to engage with.
Oh, nice pick. Egg Cushion goes down to Hawk. What a play right there. Growluwu now getting stalled out on this high ground, as both Yellow Cello and Bishop are able to recontest it. Kartik has this nano burning a hole in their pocket, and I'm sure Growluwu is getting ready to jump in to give that make that nano tickle gun a little bit more impactful.
Yeah, let's see it. Listen. You know, there's a pandemic going on here, and Growluwu, he's ready for his shot as he's going to be getting it. He's going to pop his Primal Rage as well. The anti-nade came in just a little bit too late to deny that extra healing there. But we see Azaria coming out in the back. Raph, so contested, just a 1v1 against Hawk. But he is going to have to fall back here as we see Growluwu now onto the point, just trying to zap people as much as he can. But with the rally. This is looking like it should be Team Growluwu. Yellow Cello finding Growluwu, but that's not going to be enough momentum as the Otters are once again going to be taken out. So Growluwu, they're able to get point number 1.
Yeah, and they're able to get it not in overtime as well, so their attack is looking a little bit stronger right now than Otter Oxide. And look, Bishop was caught out in the bad spawn, so he almost gets caught out. He's going to have to try and get up onto the high ground. Oh no, he just barely misses his jump. That's unfortunate.
Unlucky.
But now, the question is, can Otter Oxide get set up enough in order to put together a really solid defense here? Especially considering the fact that there's ults coming online for Growluwu and not for Otter Oxide.
Christian tries to go for the stick, but now it's actually McNewbie on the legs, being able to just run around and cause him a little bit of grief. But you know what, Growluwu, he's going to be breaking those legs as he just jumps right on top of McNewbie, able to take him out there. Now, we're going to be seeing the grab committed from Clown Dog. It is able to capture 3 of them, but unfortunately, they aren't able to take anybody out there. As Big Muzzy was able to pop the rally. Now, with the extra healing coming in, this is going to be Otter Oxide trying to move in. They're able to take out Raph, but now Growluwu just trying to stay alive. McNewbie has re-entered into the fight and onto this high ground is able to put in the damage, but Growluwu receiving the nano boost has once again brought this around for his team as he pops the Primal Rage as well. He's got so much health, Otter Oxide doesn't even know what to do. It's going to be slapped around a lot, and once again, this is going to be Growluwu in charge of this point.
Yeah, what I'm seeing from Growluwu is just an excellent cycling of all of their ultimate abilities, right? Every fight, it seems like we get a nano and then a primal from Kartik and Growluwu, and that is just an unstoppable force, right? Otter Oxide, they have to really dig deep to try and find something in their pockets to make this work. We see a swap come in from both Big Muzzy and Jumpy, going over to this more brawl style now that we are on 3rd point.
You know what they say about these maps? When you got a payload, point number 3, all about the brawl, baby. As we see that that's exactly how they want to be playing this. But once again, Growluwu has just been doing so much damage. We're going to see the rally pop to open up the fight, but Raph is going to be falling down to McNewbie. The better McCree wins as we see Growluwu now are backing up a little bit. Unfortunately, the rally has already been popped, so they're going to be losing that ultimate for their next team fight. But that's a huge anti-nade coming in from Kartik as we see the dive coming through. Clown Dog able to take out Bishop, and now this is going to be Growluwu just moving forward. Hawk able to punish the Winston there, but it might not be enough here as we see Growluwu just once again moving forward. Clown Dog already close to another grab, which could be instrumental, especially too if Otter Oxide wants to continue to play this brawly style composition. Now McNewbie in the back line, a man on a mission, able to just get the fan, the hammer into Contreras, but is going to be punished for it by Clown Dog. Now the grab is going to be coming in, and with the shield pop, Raph is just going to be shooting them out of the sky. That was absolutely amazing coordination coming in from Growluwu, just knowing exactly what to do in what situation, and they are coming out on top of this one. Right now, Growluwu, he's already got another primal, and we can expect him to do a little bit of spawn camping here. Unfortunately, he pops it just a little bit too late, as the Otters are going to be moving out onto this point. Now McNewbie using his Deadeye, trying to find a little bit of value there, but is unable to get out of spawn thanks to Growluwu's Primal Rage. But Hawk able to take out Growluwu. Suddenly, this is looking a little bit more competitive here. Ed Cushion, though, with this Pulse Bomb, could do a lot of work, but Hawk actually, just on that Reaper, is going to be too much, as Ed Cushion is going to be a little bit of a scenic view on his way out.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what? That was Growluwu's fight to lose right there. They had everything that they needed to do to make it work, but they just weren't able to quite seal the deal. And now they have to make a complete composition swap. The only piece that they're still sticking around is Raph and Kartik with those ultimates, and that's all they have to depend on with just a minute left to go.
And an excellent ultimate comboing coming out again, just allowing so much damage to come through from Otter Oxide as they're defending this point right now. You know, right now their goal is to push them to overtime. If they can do that, then it's going to be looking a little bit more better for them. As we see Otter Oxide just taking this fight right into the spawn of Team Growluwu. Now, Team Growluwu, they only have over 30 seconds here. What can they do to win this fight?
Yeah, they don't have much in their pockets. They've just got the Deadeye and the Shatter. But if Bishop isn't able to shield his team from that, that is their win condition. That is all they need to make this work. But McNewbie has his own Deadeye, and there's also an amplification matrix from Jumpy, which does get popped early.
Ooh, and out comes the Deadeye. It looks like they're just zoning them back, trying to prevent them from even being able to run in here and touch the point, which is going to allow for overtime. So even if they do capture this point, that's going to be an excellent strategy right there. We see the ball.
Wow.
Balls Hawk able to take out Kartik, but McNewbie picking out Growluwu as well. The Otters are feeling comfortable on this brawl with Egg Cushion falling down. Now it is all on the back of Clown Dog, but as soon as Clown Dog gets the mech, that's going to be Otter Oxide winning this out, holding back Team Growluwu and
What a
earning
map.
their first point, making this 1-1.
That was incredible play right there from Otter Oxide. You know, I said it before in the last map, and I'll say it again. They're playing calm when their backs are against the wall. They just keep their cool heads on them, and they prevail. That last map, the zoning ult from McNewbie, followed by that Diva Bomb, was just perfectly timed, right? The zoning ult kept the Deadeye, kept them out of the way of the cart for just long enough for them to burn off enough time to where they couldn't hide from the Diva Bomb. They had to get to cart, right? Something was going to happen there. And what happened was Raph went down early, and that just started the waterfall. And Otter Oxide comes up with a win.
Otters, known to swim well in waterfalls. Didn't know if you knew that one, but here we are.
Truth.
Yeah, no, like, the Otter Oxide, you know, when we looked at their offense too, Team Growluwu was doing such a good job on the defense. You could tell Growluwu felt very comfortable there. You know, they were able to stall things out and push Otter Oxide into overtime at every single point. But all of that is all for naught. As soon as we got onto that third point, you know, we talked about Otter Oxide being so comfortable on that little bit of a rush brawly style, and that's just when it came through. You could see how comfortable, how coordinated, how ready they were for Team Growluwu, and ultimately that's what ended up winning them the map there.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you know, I feel like as far as third points of either hybrids or escort maps are concerned, this is one of the hardest ones to crack because you've got to go up that very, very steep hill, you know, on that first corner. And that just makes it that much more difficult. And I think that the brawl diff really was what we saw there in the end from Otter Oxide. You know, maybe a couple of small misplays from Team Growluwu, you know, maybe popping that primal a little bit early. But overall, just incredible play from Otter Oxide. You didn't hold on to your golden map record, but you were certainly making this a match. And just as you said, Otter Oxide now looks mortal, so does Team Growluwu.
That is true. Just as a reminder, Growluwu won stage 1. Pretty decisively too. So,
Yeah.
you know, for Otter Oxide, they've had a couple of team changes for stage 2 here, but for them to be this competitive with the top tier team, I mean, I feel like that says a lot about how well Otter Oxide is playing tonight.
Yeah, you know, I think the McNewbie Hawk additions and, or I guess maybe not additions, but rejoining of the team, coming back into the, coming back into the fold, whatever it is they want to say, that's really doing tremendous work. I remember, you know, that was discussed a number of times, I believe, on the Nest, just having them back in the lineup, how much of an impact that is having, and it certainly is today.
Absolutely. And it looks like we're going to be waiting for these teams to figure out first which map they want to be playing next, as well as getting ready for there. So we're going to be throwing to a quick break over here as these teams are going to be getting set up. But don't you go anywhere, because you're definitely going to be wanting to catch this third map of Team Growluwu up against Otter Oxide, because we're all tied up, baby, 1-1. This is incredibly competitive Overwatch, which is just honestly a pleasure to watch as well. So we're going to be throwing to a break, but stick around because we'll be back in a little bit for map number 3.
My best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. best friend to 23. She left her body in Harvard above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me through. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got Otter Oxide up against Team Growluwu. Now, both of these teams, they're all tied up 1-1 as they've got their next map picked. We're going to be going to King's Row, Juggle.
Yes, the classic map, the Brawl Extravaganza,
Woo!
The Aaron Keller's masterpiece, Scrim's Row, Goat's Row. There's so many names for this map. And something interesting that we do have as well is a substitution coming in. We have Bishop out for Otter Oxide and Varian Rin in, who I have not seen before.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of casting Varian Rin before, but Varian Rin, very known for his Reinhardt gameplay, and especially too on a map like King's Row. This is something we can kind of, expect because it's King's Row. Reinhardt kind of thrives on this map over here, and the rush compositions. Well, that's kind of what a lot of teams like to play. But nevertheless, can't forget this is Team Growluwu here, so maybe we'll see a hog. But so far, Growluwu has bringing the respect to Otter Oxide. I've been playing meta compositions, and honestly, it's been extremely fun to watch.
Yeah, it really has, and it has been so close. And I do think it's interesting that we see a very large German man spending so much time in the UK in King's Row. It's just kind of odd. You don't expect it, but yet here we are. Maybe Eichenwald holds too many painful memories for him, and he needs to get across the pond.
Yeah, never mind the fact that he's swinging a giant hammer with what's rocket propulsions in the background.
Rocket hammer. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a rocket hammer. Because that's the thing,
Yep.
Who,
I love
who
going
would
to
build
everywhere with my rocket hammer.
Yeah, who would build one of those though? To be honest, is Elon Musk. If anybody in real
That's
life
true.
would build one, I would put money on him making a rocket hammer, or Richard Branson, actually. Branson, I think, would be much more likely now that I think about it. But we've got a pretty standard look coming out from Otter Oxide to start this off. Brawl, Brawl 1.0, right? This is... Or Brawl 101 is what we've got right here. Hawk, once again, on that Mei, which we saw, was used to great advantage on Busan. But Growluwu deciding to go out with this Wrecking Ball. I like this. I'm excited to see what happens now.
Well, let's see how this is going to work, because Growluwu, they've done a really good job of countering rush compositions. But once again, this is Otter Oxide that they are going up against. And with Egg Cushion on this Pharah, this might make a lot of a difference. I'm looking at Yellow Cello to kind of contest it, shut it down, while McNewbie is going to be doing just that. Deny the rockets, get the headshot, you're good to go.
Yeah, I wonder, if we're going to see any changes coming in. But no, Growluwu says we're still going in, apparently. And looks like Clown Dog, though, was left out to dry.
Growluwu able to find the pick onto McNewbie, which is going to allow the Pharah to reign free for the time being, as the Wrecking Ball is going to be flying around. Don't forget, right now, Team Growluwu, they've definitely got the spawner's advantages. It's so close to this point here. Meanwhile, Hawk trying to use the icicles, trying to get Egg Cushion out of the air here, but we see that that's going to be them pushed back into a little bit of a corner, as Otter Oxide are going to be regrouping and moving in now, because they want to engage this brawl. But look how much damage Egg Cushion has just been able to find in those rotations around. Jumpy, though, opening it up onto Kartik might open something up, but Clown Dog is going to be trading it back onto Hawk, which is going to make this a little bit more harder. But McNewbie, just the ace in the hole to take the flying lady out of the air, even though the res is going to be coming through. It was fun to watch while it was there, but Egg Cushion now has this barrage, and it seems like Otter Oxide knows it, as they're going to be backing off here, because they're like, this is going to be a bad time if we continue to push forwards, as now Growluwu have a ton of space, and that should be the first point captured for them.
Yeah, the spawn advantages, I think, were the big story right there. Otter Oxide was able to get kills there, but they were really only trading the whole time. They were really only trading 1 for 1. And because they're doing that, they're eventually going to lose that fight. They needed to get more value, and Team Growluwu was just able to disrupt them enough to keep that from happening, to keep any snowball from happening. And now, moving on into this next point, McNewbie has this Deadeye up. Jumpy does have this amplification matrix, and that can keep people out of the way. Look at that stun, though, coming in from McNewbie. The mines still get out on point, though, from Growluwu, and he does find a pick.
Yeah, this is going to be Growluwu just moving ahead once again, able to just take out so much space, but we can see how comfortable McNewbie is on this McCree pick. So accurate with those stun grenades and these shots, honestly, onto the Pharah, still holding on to the Deadeye though.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Growluwu making such quick work of this Brawl composition on this map. Although, if you're going to be running into Brawl, Sigma Balls is definitely a way that you want to do it. And right now, Growluwu has 5 ultimates online. Big Muzzy, that beat is going to have to be big if you're planning to keep your team alive.
And here comes the engagement. Raph immediately looking for something. He's going to be getting... Oh, McNewbie uses the Deadeye mid-air and able to get Egg Cushion. And even though Contreras does get the res there right now, McNewbie able to take out Raph. Somehow Hawk was able to use his shotguns. Maybe threw it at Egg Cushion's head, taking him out of the air. But finally, Otter Oxide able to stabilize, push back Team Growluwu as they defend before point number 2.
McNewbie just did phenomenal work there, and I think there had to have been a little bit of miscommunication between Clown Dog and Raph. I don't know if you caught it, but there was right when Clown Dog lifted McNewbie into the air, Raph threw a pulse bomb at McNewbie's feet. If McNewbie had still been there on the ground, that would have hit. The Deadeye wouldn't have happened, and Growluwu probably would have won that fight. But just that slight misplay from both of those teammates, maybe slight miscommunication, was really what opened it up. And McNewbie was there to take advantage of every single mistake that was made.
Absolutely, and that's so important for Otter Oxide right now. Going up against a team like Team Growluwu, anytime they make a mistake, you got to be ready to be on top of that, and that is exactly what Hawk is doing, as he was not only able to take out Egg Cushion, but now Contreras, as Kartik was just a little bit too late with the Transcendence there. Still, some of the picks are going to be coming through here. Growluwu doing a great job on this Wrecking Ball still, but it's going to be Varian Rin right now, popping his Primal Rage, able to push Team Growluwu back again. And we can just see how scattered they are all over the place, as they're just going to be cleaning up the rest of their members. Varian Rin Raph knew his fate there, so he's just gonna stand there and take it.
Yep. Yeah, there's not much you can do there. At that point, you probably just want to get back to your spawn as quickly as you can, so that you can be with the rest of your team. But I think now we're starting to see the strength of the Brawl composition on King's Row really start to come to fruition. They've had enough time to get their ultimates online, and while Team Growluwu was able to win, the neutral fight at least initially, and one fight during Streets phase, it's going to be an uphill battle for them. McNewbie pops high noon.
Oh, but he's getting pressured down so much. That was a huge anti-nade coming out of Kartik, just denying all that healing. And look at that. Growluwu ready to just pounce upon these Otters as they just move in for the kill. Very definitively, not even dropping a single member as they just walk this one forward.
Yeah, I feel like that was a little bit of a misplay from McNewbie. I don't think they wanted to pop that Deadeye quite that early. You don't want to take fights that you don't have to take, right? Especially when you're on defensive. That looks like what they did. But Big Muzzy is here to contest things right at the last moment with that sound barrier. But Raph gets a pick on the Jumpy.
Absolutely devastating if you are Otter Oxide. Let's see if they're able to do something here. McNewbie on the Sombra, able to hack Egg Cushion. Is really doing a lot of the work. Growluwu, though, dropping the mines, gets the nano boost as well. That's going to be a very dangerous wrecking ball, especially, too, if it's going to be pressuring you down. We see McNewbie have to retreat here as Growluwu are just in charge at this point. Despite the best efforts of Otter Oxide, Hawk using his Death Blossom, not able to find anybody with it, unfortunately. Just going to be able to escape the Demon Bomb. But Otter Oxide, they're still contesting this point right now. Team Growluwu has not been able to make it through. Raph using the Deadeye to just make sure it is zoned out. And finally, they're able to get point number 2.
Yeah, but Otter Oxide did a phenomenal job of burning time off the clock, especially after that one fight misplay. Growluwu now decides to swap over to that Hog, presumably because we see Varian Rin on this Winston now. So it'll be interesting to see how this duel goes down. The only ult on the board right now is Contreras with that rally, so that's going to give an early advantage certainly to Team Growluwu. But Yellow Cello does have a Diva Bomb online, and they loose it into the backline of Growluwu.
And that's going to find a Raph. Maybe slowing things down here. Oh, that was almost a nasty hook, but you can just see how much respect they give Growluwu on this Hog as all of them just collapse onto him. Egg Cushion next to one to fall as well. We see that it's an absolute brawl on this point, but it looks like that Otter Oxide are going to be coming out on top of this. And McNewbie has just been doing such a great job with these hacks onto key members of Growluwu, shutting them down and allowing the team to just move in and go for the kill.
Yeah, you know what? I think Otter Oxide knows that one of the keys to countering Growluwu, and Growluwu specifically, is to just make sure he doesn't get the flank, and that's exactly what they did. But now, EMP comes in from McNewbie, catches 2, Growluwu's already down, and this fight is very underway.
Yeah, and it was an excellent step by Contreras. He's been to a couple of dance classes because he backstepped away from that EMP, allowing himself to keep the rally online as McNewbie falls down. Now, Team Growluwu are in charge and walking this forwards. They have under 10 seconds, though. I don't know that they're going to be able to do this before, before the overtime click does happen, but regardless, Otter Oxide, they want to contest this one more time as we see Varian Rin dive in there. And now that's going to be a nano boost invested in a high noon. Yellow Cello just trying to do as much work as he can against this giant Hog here. But when the hook comes through, the hook is going to be good and he gets D-maxed out of it. Right now, Egg Cushion on this Reaper is going to get beamed down. A little bit of a Reaper diff coming in from Hawk. That's an excellent stun from McNewbie. We talked about how good he was with those flashbangs, able to take Growluwu out of that whole Hog, and that's going to be Otter Oxide stopping Team Growluwu before point number 3.
Wow, what a stall coming in from Otter Oxide. I have to admit, I don't know exactly what happened there at the end, but I just saw the kill feed light up for Otter Oxide. They get 3 kills almost simultaneously, and Growluwu just doesn't have the health or the sustain to touch that last point. And so, despite there still being a couple of members of Growluwu up and alive, it didn't really matter. Jumpy and Yellow Cello able to keep them away.
Absolutely. Man, just Crazy work from McNewbie there. Crazy work from McNewbie there. We saw that he was responsible for checking the Pharah, responsible for checking the Mercy, and those stun grenades, I'm going to be honest, if he didn't pull off that stun grenade and stop Growluwu from using that whole hog while nano boosted, I think that Team Growluwu would have took that point. 100%. But the fact that that came through and then they were able to just absolutely just roll over them, I think that can be accredited to McNewbie. And on the Sombra too, he's just been a menace for Growluwu. You know, they're getting hacked left and right. Regardless of an EMP, the manual hacks were good enough, shutting down the key members and just allowing, Otter Oxide to just fly over there. So hats off to McNewbie, honestly. What an amazing play.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we look to this next thing, we see Team Growluwu has opted for the double shields, double sniper strat on the high ground here to try and keep this brawl composition from Otter Oxide at bay. They're going to be taking the long flank around into the hotel, it looks like, potentially. Oh, nope, just around the side of the statue. I imagine we're going to see them trying to push onto this high ground to dislodge this double shield. Whoa, Growluwu goes down very, very low on that Orisa.
Once again, this is McNewbie just doing McNewbie things here, but it looks like that the first picks are going to be coming in for Growluwu once again. This poke is just so powerful against this brawl composition because they can get in the tickles, and if as long as they just have a couple of tanks onto the point to contest the point, then that's just going to allow the DPS to just open up and take out the people on Otter Oxide.
Yeah, you know, I have to question the idea to engage right there from Otter Oxide. I mean, I guess it was the fact that Team Growluwu did drop, but they really need to try and find a way to rotate to that high ground and dislodge this bunker that's going here. But look at how quickly Varian Rin's shield keeps going down.
Well, you know, a good way is to start with a pick onto Growluwu, and now it looks like that the DPS and support line are going to be dropping down, which is going to allow Otter Oxide to move in on here. But it's going to be a grab coming in from Clown Dog, able to just dislodge them mid-air and allowing Egg Cushion and Raph to just take pot shots at them. The Olympics start in a couple of weeks, but they're already practicing their skeet shooting.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent play to kind of turn around that fight that was definitely going very heavily the way of Otter Oxide. When you lose a main tank like Orisa, that bunker composition loses its anchor. And fortunately, Clown Dog was there with that gravitic flux to clean things up, and the rest of the team, like you said, did that skeet shooting and kept things alive. Moving into this next fight, Jumpy has this amplification matrix, and Varian Rin is going to get the Shatter online as well. And those, especially the Shatter, could be a fight-winning fight. And already Raph is down to Hawk.
Speaking of a fight-winning fight, how about an arrow to the face, Raph? As this is going to allow... Oh, what an excellent Dragon Strike position coming in. And now we just see the rush is going to be completely underway. Hawk able to take out Egg Cushion. Once again, another stun grenade coming in there, stopping the Orisa dead in their tracks. But we see Varian Rin just drop down. You know what? Let's just capture the point. Let's make them play to us. Now that we know that they're on this high ground, that will allow Otter Oxide to get just so much work. Yellow Jello just going to contest it. Body blocking them so they can't even make it on. But an excellent play, excellent sacrifice by Yellow Cello. McNewbie, though, coming in with the pick onto Kartik, and now this is Hawk shooting through the amplification matrix, as now Otter Oxide are going to be coming online and are just going to be stopping Growluwu right here, right now.
Yeah, again, I think that we're seeing a comp difference here, you know? And what an incredibly intelligent play from Yellow Cello, sacrificing their mech for the good of all of Otter Oxide. And, oh no, look at this! Look at that exit pick onto Egg Cushion. That is not good news for Growluwu. That's a good 15, 20, maybe even 30 seconds off the clock as they try to regroup. Either that or they're going to take a 5v6.
And we can see now that Otter Oxide just have such good positioning. Look how much room they were able to get for free. You know, they didn't even need a team fight, and they're already like 2/3 of the way up there. Look at this cart just rolling itself along. Now Growluwu, what can they make happen here to make this work? Oh, as soon as I say that, sorry, the Dragon Strike is going to be going out from Otter Oxide. Hawk Now, there's going to be a little bit of a Sigma grab thrown up in the air, but Yellow Cello able to find the explosion onto Growluwu. Once again, shutting down those shields. The Bob is going to do a little bit of work, but it's not going to be enough. Egg Cushion, though, able to take a Varian Rin. That could be pretty big here, as McNewbie, once again, has just been so instrumental in keeping Growluwu at bay. Now, Egg Cushion throws out the Dragon Strike. It's going to push Otter Oxide into a little bit of a weird positioning here, but you can see that they want to take this fight with the Amplification Matrix coming out here. Egg Cushion trying to find McNewbie with these Hanzo arrows, but unfortunately isn't able to do it, and now the team is ready to brawl. Out comes the Deadeye alongside. Oh no, there's so many things, so many ultimates popped onto this point, but it is going to be Growluwu coming out on top. You know, that Supercharger as well as the Transcendence is just going to enable pure firepower without having to worry about the mortal coil of death. Although McNewbie did have his Deadeye out, but regardless, excellent showing from Growluwu.
Yeah, you know, it happened because Otter Oxide, they committed a lot of ults early in that fight. We saw Jumpy on that amplification matrix, right? But they weren't able to convert that to anything useful, to any kills, right? And because of that, that allowed Team Growluwu to kind of settle in, build up what they need to do, and once you get one of those bongos out, once you have that supercharger out, it's almost always lights out. It is so hard to push into that, even harder than pushing into an amplification matrix. So now, Varian Rin has the Shatter online, but here comes the Gravitic Flux.
Welcome to the jam as Varian Rin throws it down, able to find 4 with that absolutely massive shatter. But Clown Dog able to take out McNewbie, and with Varian Rin falling down, this is looking like Growluwu are gonna be coming out on top of this one. Now just under a minute. Otter Oxide, they gotta come back to contest this point, at least to force it to overtime.
Yeah, and they only have this Dragon Strike to really work with. Big Muzzy is going to get, as long as they can stay alive, they're going to get that sound barrier online. But Otter Oxide is going to have to figure out a way to not only give him that much time, but to get to this point and contest it, because there is less than 30 seconds on the clock, and Wrath has a Bob. You have to imagine Big Muzzy is probably going to want to save that beat for something like that. Contreras also can burn some time off the clock with this amplification matrix, so Otter Oxide in a very, very difficult position right now.
And we see Varian Rin actually swap onto the Winston, which is going to allow them to come into this pressure, this backline. But Jumpy being lost first is not a great start, because there goes a lot of your healing with the Bob also thrown onto the point. Raph now is just looking for those heads, making them pop through. Another bongo is going to be thrown down onto the ground, and now is the time to play, says Team Growluwu, as once again they're just going to be moving forwards onto here, and the Otters can't do anything to stop them. And that's going to be Team Growluwu getting map number 2, map number 3, taking our series 2-1 against Otter Oxide.
Yeah, you know, I am impressed with Team Growluwu, and you know, in some ways also a little bit encouraged to see this fight win, you know, without your standard brawl composition on King's Row. It can be done, and Team Growluwu just showed us how. You know, these superchargers right here at the end of the second point from Growluwu, I think were the difference maker. As soon as that supercharger got online, both times, it was just lights out, game over for Otter Oxide. There was nothing they could do about it.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Raph, you look at Egg Cushion, just able to plink in damage, a lot of damage as is, but hey, you throw a little bit of a supercharger down and suddenly they're doing a lot more damage than you would have expected. And you could see just how well Growluwu knew how to play around that supercharger, especially at the end, making sure that that was the priority, which just allowed them to just output so much damage. And Otter Oxide didn't have an answer to it. You know, we saw that they, at the end there, they swapped to a little bit more of a dive composition, but I think that they should have maybe done that a little bit earlier, because, you know, that's how you can shut down some of those long range snipers like that Ashe, like that Hanzo, really pressure them out of position, and suddenly the shields don't matter as much anymore.
Yeah, that's true. They really don't. And before we get into the next map, we are going to throw it one more time to a quick break. This is a break extravaganza tonight, so sorry about that, chat. But we will be right back. Stick around. We'll see you soon.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me for. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend. Lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow, I looked around, searched every building and home.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got Team Growluwu up against Otter Oxide. Team Growluwu just won map number 3 and now are leading the series 2-1. So both of these teams are going to be going to Volskaya Industries. I can speak. They're going to be going to Volskaya Industries for our next map. Growluwu might be able to stop Otter Oxide right here, right now, Juggle.
Yeah, they might. And just as a reminder, both of these teams have clinched spots in the playoffs. So this is just, for bracket berth to see who has the better positioning, going into the tournament, which will start, I believe, this weekend. Now, a quick bit of housekeeping. Wanted to mention that Rogue Dragons did not, in fact, disband. So just some changes happening with the team. So I'm going to leave it at that. And we'll, of course, see how that progresses over the next few days and weeks. But I'm excited about Volskaya as a pick because once again, you can see a number of different looks on this map. And again, we are already seeing double shield come out from Team Growluwu. They've shown a propensity for it, and certainly, if last map is anything to go by, a winning propensity as well.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good solution against this rush composition. And we know that Otter Oxide, they feel comfortable on the rush. It seems like that's kind of their not bread and butter per se, but they definitely felt very comfortable playing around there. But that was how Growluwu were able to go in and stop their rush, and they did it pretty decisively too.
Yeah, they certainly did. We are going to go back in it. We had just a small problem coming into this. It looks like we've gotten it taken care of now, though. So we are actually loading in this time to Volskaya Industries. And yeah, just like you were saying, that double shield really did put a stop to the brawl composition, which is kind of the opposite of what you'd expect. Although, given how Otter Oxide had to go down that long hallway, on King's Row in order to contest the double shield, maybe it isn't quite as surprising when, thought of through that lens. But here, there's plenty of room for this double shield composition to kite away and back up and get the time that they need for their composition to really do the job that it needs to do, which is poking out during rotations and picking people off before they get too close. McNewbie once again on that far with the suicide in spawn. This guy, he's got problems with walls.
The walls just came out of nowhere, Juggle. I swear I didn't even see them. But also too interesting to note is that Otter Oxide decided to swap Varian Rin out for Bishop once again. So they might be playing this dive composition to kind of counter this double shield that Growluwu brought to the table here. And that might work out, but we see actually it's going to be a Torb turret coming in. It's a little bit harder.
Yeah, that is certainly going to make things hard for Hawk. His wings are going to get clipped pretty quickly and easily by that turret. So we'll have to see how Hawk decides to adjust their playstyle. Maybe Yellow Cello can give some assistance with that defense matrix, either going in or, just when they need to rotate. But already we see Otter Oxide hasn't really made any quick moves to try and, do anything to this double shield composition yet. Interestingly, Jumpy is already on the low ground on their own. This Anna, that seems kind of dangerous, but we have the engagement from Otter Oxide.
And Raph finally able to find Jumpy. Jumpy just jumping around a little bit too far here, but Growluwu are looking better for it. Hawk, though, able to find Quinteris, and now Egg Cushion's going to be throwing his turret onto the point, which is just going to deny so much space. The Otters, they don't really have anywhere to go because that turret's just going to be plinking in consistent damage. A little bit of an aimbot, but this is going to be a stop from Growluwu. Otter Oxide rethinking their strategy now.
Yeah, they swap out over to a Reaper, and yep, they're going just straight to Brawl again. It looks like we're probably going to see them now rotate around the left side of this building. Oh, but we have a pause. So we'll have to see what's up there. Hopefully nobody DC'd anything like that. But I imagine, yeah, well, oh, nope, looks like we did get a DC on the side of Growluwu. So hopefully Egg Cushion will be back soon. But yeah, I anticipate what we're going to see is a rotation to the high ground along this left side so that the Brawl composition can try and push this double shield out. And if they do that, maybe they can get them onto the low ground where they're going to be much, much less effective too.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason why Obi-Wan took the high ground in episode 3. It's because it's great. It's going to guarantee you the victory here. But one of the things about this Volskaya first point, especially where Team Growluwu right now are set up, is that it's going to allow Otter Oxide to be able to walk in through a lot of back alleys. One of the biggest problems that we saw on the last map was when they were trying to do the rotations, that was just Growluwu able to just plink in so much damage that by the time that Otter Oxide was up and in their face, all of them were already half HP, and suddenly it's a lot easier to take down a team that's been whittled down to half their health pool already. And so I imagine it'll go a little bit better based on their positioning here, but it's still going to be a little bit of a tough fight. Otter Oxide, they really need to just get the pounce onto Growluwu here. And right now, I really want to see that Torb turret get shut down because I think that has been honestly doing so much work just in the front line, even in the back line, even on the escape. You know, that turret, it's a scary thing, man.
Yeah, turrets don't need to sleep, right?
No.
They can just keep shooting.
They don't.
Right?
As long as they got bullets, they can shoot.
Yeah, exactly. And that is certainly what happened. You know, the other thing we have to mention is that the old economy has been completely reset for Otter Oxide. So, you know, it's likely that they're going to lose this next fight anyway, you know, unless they get an early pick, because they need these ultimates to start coming online. I'm looking at Hawks, you know, especially to be one that gets big value. Already we see Team Growluwu deciding to rotate away from that high ground to keep their distance. A really, really intelligent move, given they do not want to be in range of this rocket hammer swing. But the rush is coming fast and furious, even though they may be on fire.
Vin Diesel, where are you at? Because we may be fast, but maybe not as furious as Egg Cushion coming back here is just able to punish this aggressive push. Raph also as well using the Bob, able to just pick them off, and now it's just Hawk all by their lonesome self. As once again, Growluwu very smart at disengaging, getting their space, and punishing Otter Oxide.
Yeah, and now Otter Oxide still doesn't have any ultimates coming online yet. That fight didn't last long enough. Probably as long as they had hoped it would in order for them to get these ultimates. And already we see Growluwu at 90% of the supercharge, and we saw just how much of an effect that had on King's Row. Clown Dog as well, with this Gravitic Flux, you can't sleep on either. He does good work with it. Bishop may, in fact, though, be able to get this Shatter online, so it'll be interesting to see how this all works out. It's going to be a race to the ultimate finish line.
You can see them already trading blows, but obviously there's going to be Growluwu feeling a little bit better about this long-range poke, you know. You can see they're able to just plunk in so much damage, and as soon as they see Otter Oxide moving towards them, they just back up and are like, you know what, we'll make you come around to us. But now that Otter Oxide is going to be on this point, we're going to be seeing the supercharger drop down here in order to plink in a lot of damage. That was an excellent grab by Clown Dog here. The Immortality Field was just doing a great job of keeping everybody alive, but Otter Oxide look like they're going to be coming out on top here. Well, they've got a couple of more members, but if Raph finds McNewbie, that could swing things around. Clown Dog still holding on to their ultimate as well, but unfortunately unable to touch the point here. As Otter Oxide, they've capped point number 1.
Yeah, you know, I think Otter Oxide just out-rotated Team Growluwu right there. You know, they thought instead of, you know, pushing them to that other high ground, what if we push them from the other high ground so that they don't have any other high ground to go to? And that is really, I think, what led to the victory, because Team Growluwu had to spend all that time rotating around that big block on the low ground that, you know, they gave up an entire tick before they were even able to get to point to try and contest. And moving into this, this Bob should have tremendous value for Growluwu.
Oh, you know what else is going to be? Haven't tried to smell? How about that grab coming out of Clown Dog right there, just lifting up the 3 members of the team, and breaking that 50% HP pool is just going to allow Growluwu to just flick him down so easy, so fresh, and so clean.
So fresh and so clean. that was a little bit of a William Shatner does. Oh Jesus, who even sang that song? I don't even know. I'm showing my age right now in multiple ways. But
you're not a year over 22, right?
Yeah, just a hair, just a hair.
Yeah.
As long as it hasn't fallen out, just a hair. But we've got 3 ults coming online now for Otter Oxide. I'm really looking at Hawk to get a lot of value with this Death Blossom, as long as they can take out Kartik's Immortality Field. But Contreras is going to be there with the rally too, so they've got a lot that they're going to have to chew through in order to find value with their ultimates. Let's see how they make it happen.
And here we go. The Molten Core is going to be coming out, but it's going to be Hawk able to take out the turret right off the bat. And Yellow throwing in the bomb, able to find 2. That's going to be both Egg Cushion and Fallen and Growluwu falling down to that one here. Now Otter Oxide, they're on top of this point. They want to be able to do this. Clown Dog though, able to take out Hawk. Now we see McNewbie having to back off. He has to deal with Raph because Raph has just been over here just shooting people down, and no one's even been there to contest him. But it looks like Growluwu have once again staved off the Otters as they're going to be pushing them back, only giving up one ticket there.
Yeah, you know, I think the Otters there, they just got too split during that engagement. Just watching how, you know, too many members were just in too many places and they couldn't handle it despite that early bomb from Yellow Cello. The other thing that Otter Oxide needed to do there that they didn't was to keep those kills coming. They just kind of stalled out after that bomb. They didn't have any gas left in the tank to continue getting picks. And if you don't continue getting picks, again, eventually that spawn advantage is just going to take over. Now, McNewbie looking to open things up potentially with this Dragon Strike. If he can disrupt Growluwu, then maybe Hawk can find some purchase to get a pick. Let's see what happens.
Oh, and out comes the Dragon Strike into the bunker composition, but they're very quick to disengage there. But Bishop is going to be swinging his hammer, and it's going to find Clown Dog right in the face, taking him out of this fight. But we see Ed Cushion on this Doomfist, pushing people around, but Hawk is immediately there just to take him out. Now we're going to be seeing the Supercharger flunk down once again. Growluwu just hiding in the corner, allowing his team to just do work on this. But it's going to be Hawk coming out as the real hero for Otter Oxide here, using both of those shotguns and the Death Blossom to try and equalize this. But unfortunately, Growluwu, they're just a little bit too powerful for them. And now McNewbie coming back on this Tracer pick just to make sure that he can activate the overtime here. But they've got a Doomfist flying around in the form of Ed Cushion, punching people around here. Bishop trying to get in there, but gets stalled out of that charge. Oh my goodness, you hate to see it if you are a Reinhardt main. But regardless, these are going to be picks coming in for Growluwu right now. It's all on Otter Oxide to find at least a couple of picks. Otherwise, they're just going to be continuing to trickle in here. But Ed Cushion is just so good on that Doomfist that is going to be Growluwu stopping Otter Oxide from getting that second point.
But they did get a good amount of progress. You know, it was about 1 and 2/3 or so. You know, that Otter Oxide was able to get. So, you know, it's fortunate tonight we will not be visiting Drawskaya Industries. We will have a winner. Yeah, I know. We will have a winner at the end of this match. And right now, this is do or die for Otter Oxide. They have to come up with a solid hold here if they're going to hold off Team Growluwu and keep them from notching that first and prime slot in the tournament.
Yeah, once again, Growluwu, they've got their win condition established for them right here, right now. It's so close. It's so tasty, so delicious. I don't know why I've been very descriptive with my words tonight, but regardless, Growluwu, they're in it to win it. They clearly know what they have to accomplish right here, and it is looking very possible. Let's see how they want to start off this engagement and what Otter Oxide are going to be doing in order to slow down their momentum.
Yeah, this is an interesting look coming out from Otter Oxide. I have to question it a little bit. Trying to do dive defense on this point. You know, there's not a whole lot of sustain with that Winston or that D.Va. I mean, D.Va does have her mech, which is kind of a second life, but Jumpy and Big Muzzy are going to have a hard time healing everybody that they need to with these healers. This composition coming out from Growluwu is going to have a hard time as well because none of the team members of Otter Oxide are really going to be playing in the same place, so any disruption that they do is really going to be minimal. So this fight is going to be interesting, to say the very least.
To say the very least, Jungle, you've got a Genji flying around. Turning on the Zenyatta, Rob hacking some people at a wrecking ball. This is going to be something indeed. Ed Cushion just plunking in these ninja stars already, pressuring Otter Oxide so much. And look at this. They're already on the point, making them run around. Ed Cushion able to find the pick on the Big Muzzy. Might start off this battle right here, right now, as we see that. Look at how scattered these teams are right now. McNewbie is incredibly close to death, and Cushion just couldn't seal the deal, but this is the disruption that we expect to see from Team Growluwu right now, and they're making it work in their favor. That's going to be 2 picks coming through there. Even if they lost Clown Dog, it doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a deal, as Ed Cushion now has his blade as well. It's just going to go back there. You know, Jumpy uses the Coalescence, is able to pressure back, the Growluwu Storm, patent pending, but regardless, this is just an absolute fight on this point. Growluwu using this disruption. Now Egg Cushion pulls out the blade, able to find Big Muzzy, looking for his next target. Sees a little squishy Moira jumping to fly into the corner, jumping around. But unfortunately, the blade didn't come through, and he wasn't able to secure that second pick with the blade, but he is able to do it just by his own abilities. And now that's going to be Growluwu getting first point rather quickly.
Yeah, you know, that was a very interesting death match that we just witnessed on first point.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, you know, the action was hard to follow because the action was frankly everywhere. And because of that, I really think that the Growluwu composition ended up working out a lot better. EMP comes in and catches 4.
EMP, and then they pop the Transcendence right after that, and look
gosh.
at what is going on this.
Whoa.
This is just absolute chaos with Growluwu just thriving in there. Now it's just a Primal Raged Winston also falling extremely low, as that's going to be Growluwu capturing this point. Oh, never mind, the EMP is going to be coming out. They're going to be stalling this out just for one more second as Big Muzzy comes back on the point as well. Hawk able to find Karting, now using the Death Blossom, gets dropped into the air and falls down. That might have been their last hope here. But don't forget, the respawner's advantage for Otter Oxide is extremely strong, but they still need to find picks right now. Growluwu is just finding all of the kills here, as Egg Cushion already has another blade. McNewy trying to stall things out, but it isn't enough, as Team Growluwu are going to be taking this map and winning this series against Otter Oxide 3-2-1.
Congratulations, Team Growluwu. That was an excellent showing there, and congratulations to the new members of Growluwu as well. Raph, we see here with the play of the game on this, I was about to say Bob, but on this Ash with the assistance, of course, of a Bob. Yeah, just tremendous play all the way around from everybody. This was one hell of a series, and you know, I can't wait to see more from both these teams. And frankly, I think it would be awesome if we saw a rematch, because right now, if anybody can take down Team Growluwu, Otter Oxide looks like they might be the ones.
Yep. Otter Oxide really contesting Team Growluwu in, what do you call it, their own game here, but what a series. What a series, Juggle.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely incredible. You know, the heroics on each team, and what I loved were there were so many like tiny little moments, right? Absolutely. Where if things had just gone a little bit differently, could have been an entirely different game. And I think that speaks to the strength of both of these teams going up against each other. And we're going to take a short break, though, right now. And when we come back, we will have your MVP announced and an interview for the match. So stick around. We'll see you soon.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven. It found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. My best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. Best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me for. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I lost my best friend.
Welcome back, everybody. We had tonight Team Growluwu going up against Otter Oxide, with Team Growluwu winning against the Otters 3-1, solidifying their top spot for playoffs starting this weekend. And Jungle God, you hinted at it, but we've got MVP to pick, don't we?
We do, and it was unanimous in the casting booth. We have both chosen Growluwu as our MVP, if for no other reason than you never fed today on tank. And by the way, we do have Growluwu in the chat right now for the interview. Hello, Growluwu. How's it going after that win?
Hello, I'm feeling very good. I was actually
Excellent.
practicing.
You were actually practicing. That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear. Well, it certainly paid off. Now, I'll start things out here. What was it like today playing so many meta compositions? We typically see you all roll out with so many unique compositions, but it almost looked to me as if you all were forced to play meta because of what the Otter Oxides were bringing to the table. Yeah, what was it like having to switch to those compositions, and what prompted you to go back to some more unique stuff towards the end?
We just randomly chose to go meta, but then we realized we're terrible at meta, so we swapped back and we started feeling a lot better.
All right, fair enough.
Good reason as any. And I am curious here because obviously, like in this division, Otter Oxide, they were the team to kind of look out for, and of course you guys as well. And so coming into this, what type of preparation was the team doing in order to make sure that you were ready to fight the Otters?
We actually started quad blocking scrims. Normally we only normally triple block, but today we started quad blocking, and it really worked out.
I'll say practice does make perfect, right?
Jeez, yeah, that is true. Now, one thing I want to know, watching this game, it looked very, very close to me a number of times. Do you think that that Otter Oxide put up the hardest fight yet that you've come up against in Owlet, or would you say there's a bigger threat out there?
I'm not really sure. I don't really think any of the teams can beat us, but they were okay.
That's the winning attitude we like to see as you enter into the playoffs, that's for sure. We're also joined here with Giggles, who did not play today, but I'm just kind of curious, Giggles, from the viewer's perspective. Obviously, you were seeing the match go on between Team Growluwu and Otter Oxide. After that first map where Otter Oxide just got by getting that first win, what was that like? Were there moments where you were like, ooh, like, let's see what happens, or was it full confidence, like Team Growluwu, they got this, like these guys are great?
I've been associated with Team Growluwu for quite a while. I've seen them play. I've seen their VODs. I was confident that they could, like, there was just like some struggles in map 1, and sorry, I'm nervous. I got pulled into this, but
No, it's quite all right. Was
Take
it
your
kind of
time.
once they got those struggles ironed out, things seemed to smooth out?
yes.
Sounds good. Well, this was a fantastic match today. Do you have any final words that you'd like to say, Marks?
None from me, but I am curious. Growluwu and Giggles, going into the playoffs. Are you guys ready? Is it Team Growluwu all the way? We're gonna be seeing another win from this team.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's go. I'm here for it.
Gotta love the confidence.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you once again, Growluwu and Giggles, for hopping on board for this interview. And congratulations once again for Team Growluwu. Now, undefeated. What do you call it? In this whole second stage over here. And that's going to be wrapping it up for this interview as well as the match for today. So thank you all for tuning into this. This has been Team Growluwu up against Otter Oxide. Once again, Team Growluwu not tarnishing their perfect record throughout this entire stage. Entering into playoffs in that top seat right now. They beat out Otter Oxide, their top competition in their division. Juggle, do you have any more things to say?
Thank you so much to Joey on production. Always appreciate your work. Fantastic job as always. So thank you very much. And thank you to everybody out there in the Owletverse.
Absolutely. And this has been casted by myself, Marks, alongside Juggle God on color today. Something he's not necessarily used to, but he did an excellent job.
It's hard. I'm colorblind.
Ooh, no. But thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure to follow the Owlet Tournament channel if you're not, because we got the playoffs coming up just this weekend. It's only 5 days away. It's super exciting. But we'll hope to see you then. We'll catch you next time, and thank you for tuning in, and have a good night, everybody.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better through the pain.